Okay, so today we are going to practice more about writing expressions in which letters stand for numbers. I think overall you guys are doing a really great job with that, but the book just has a couple lessons on this just because they really want to make sure you guys are having good understanding of how to do this. So we're going to be continuing on with lesson 17. So again, our objective for today is just by the end of the lesson, I want you guys to be able to write algebraic expressions that record all operations with numbers and letters standing for the numbers. So when we look through this, I'm just going to be going through a bunch of the different practice problems you guys would be doing in class. Because sometimes the best way to learn this is just to see more and more examples to get more comfortable with doing this. So if I look at this, if I want to say the sum of A and B, again, we need to remember that sum means to add. So I would say A plus B. That's the algebraic expression it's looking for there. So if I have A plus B, I would just add them together to find the sum. Now, when I have 5 more than twice a number C. So when I look at this on here, if I have 5 more than, so more than, if I have more than somebody, I normally am doing some addition. So I would write this with an addition problem, but twice a number C, that means I'm going to do twice C, which means I'm going to be multiplying by 2 because twice or double means to multiply by 2. If I said triple, that means to multiply by 3. So I would go ahead and I would say 5 more than twice a number. So I would do 2 times C. Now, I could also, because more than sometimes is also one of those turnaround words, I could say 2C plus 5. Remember, we learned in class the commutative property that tells me when I'm using addition, I can add in any order. I can't do that when I divide or when I subtract, but I could say that 5 plus 2C and 2C plus 5, they're actually the same exact expression. So you guys kind of need to realize that they both mean the same thing. Okay, looking at my last one on this slide, I have 6 of these slides. Sorry, guys, we have lots of problems we're going to listen to today. Martha bought D number of apples and then ate 6 of them. So 8 isn't one of the words that we've normally seen on my back wall there with everything, but I know when I eat something, the number decreases. So if I bought D apples and I ate some, I would actually subtract 6. So like if I bought 10 apples and I ate 6, I would end up with 4 when I was done. So my expression would just be D, how many ever apples I have, minus 6. All right, let's practice a couple of more of these. Okay, so if I have 14 is decreased by P. So decreased is going to be a subtraction word. So I would say 14 minus P would be my expression. So whatever number I substitute in for P, I would just do 14 minus that number. This one next one's a little bit more complicated because it talks about a total. Total I know means to add. And then it tells me I want to do divided by. Now, because of order of operations, I want to keep my adding together. So always, if I want to group my addition together, I'm going to put parentheses. It didn't tell me the quantity, but I still just know I want D and F to stay together. So I'm going to put D and F together in parentheses, and I'm going to divide that by 8. And my last one's going to be another word problem. Rashad scored 6 less than 3 times as many baskets as Mike. And we're going to let Mike be represented by B. So remember, less than is one of those turnaround words. That's a very sloppy arrow there, right there, but that's okay. So what I want to do when I'm doing this one is I need a subtraction symbol. I know that, but I actually want the 6 to be in the back because it's a turnaround word. So 6 isn't in the front anymore. I'm going to switch it to the back. Again, decreased, I did not switch the order, but less than is a turnaround word, so I would. So if I have 3 times as many baskets, and baskets is B, I would say 3B minus 6. Let's try a couple more of these. So quotient means to divide. So again, I could write that as a fraction. I'm going to do as a slash line on here just because that's easiest on my computer screen. So I would have C divided by 6 across this way. Okay, next one. I have triple. Triple means to multiply by 3, and then I have the sum of x and 17. So I'm not going to triple x. I'm not going to have 3x and I'm tripling. I need to triple the whole entire sum. So I want to keep my addition together, so I would say x plus 17 inside the parentheses, but I need triple that, so I would times it by 3. Remember, we started learning in class right before we left back in middle of March that if I have a number outside of parentheses, that just means to multiply. So one more word problem on this slide. Gabriel had B buttons but lost 6. But then they took the remaining buttons and split them equally among her 5 friends. So if I have B buttons and I lose 6, that means I'm subtracting 6. If I split something equally, that means I'm now going to divide. So again, I'm just taking the words and just kind of replacing everything with symbols. I'm going to divide that by 5. However, I want to make sure that I, again, keep the first step together. So I'm going to put parentheses around this to group losing the 6 buttons first and then dividing by 5 second. Couple more slides of these. Let's just kind of see here how many of these we're going to actually do. We might not do all of them. Okay, if I double D, then what I want to do, double means to divide by 2, so I would do 2D there. Quick and simple. Again, when I'm multiplying, I don't need to put a multiplication symbol. I just put the number next to the letter. You will notice I put the 2 out in front. They normally do try to put the number first and the letter second. It's called the coefficient and the variable. However, if you were to put D2, it would still be correct. Okay, let's look at these next ones. 3 more than 4 times a number x. So if I have more than, I'm going to be adding. So I would say 3 more than means to add 4 times a number x. Well, remember, I don't need to put any sort of symbol to mean times when I'm timesing it by a variable. So I could just say 3 plus 4x. However, more than is kind of one of those turnaround words. So what I would actually want to do here with this one is I would want to put the 3 in the back, and I would want to put the 4x in the front. But again, because of my commutative property, these would actually be the same exact expression. All right, let's just do one more and then kind of end with these. If I have, Malie has C pieces of candy and she doubles the amount of candy she has, and then she gives away 15 pieces. So if she's doubling her candy, doubling again would be multiplying by 2. I want to put the 2, the coefficient in front, and then C, the variable behind that. If you give away something, that's subtracting. So I would say 2C minus 15. We did have 2 more slides of these, which I think we're going to kind of just quickly go through. I hope you guys remember cubed means to do to the third power or the exponent of 3. Okay, my quantity is going to mean that I'm going to have some parentheses, increased, and that sum is divided by 9. Okay, if you earn fewer, you would be subtracting, and doubling means multiplying by 2. Just making sure there's no new words you guys kind of need to see in here. Remember, difference would mean to subtract. Less than is also subtracting, but it's a turnaround word. Combining would mean to add them together. If you have half of something, you're dividing by 2. What you guys are going to do at the end of the video right now is I'm going to be typing up and I'm going to have you guys work on these 2 problems right here. So a number x is increased by 6, okay? And then that whole entire sum is doubled. So remember, we want to be adding first and then doubling that whole entire quantity. So you might need some parentheses in that one. Now I have the total, remember, total means to add, of h and b. So I want to combine that together. So again, I might want some parentheses of this one. And if it's split, remember, split means to divide. So you guys are going to try those problems on here.